Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today going to be going over the new live stream that happened yesterday. It's about the new upcoming updates in June and July, especially July. June is almost over, and what they're going to do to improve the game and what they're going to add in terms of new content and or new characters. So how about we jump into the live stream and see what they have to offer. So let's see what they bring with us today. They're going to talk about the Q&A, June update, which is almost over, and then July and collaboration. Let's see the questions. Are Soul Leveling Arise and Overdrive separate games? They are. They're going to be two different games. Soul Leveling Arise is the gacha game, while Overdrive will be a more story-based game where you go and fight the story again, basically what we did, and with a simple and similar mechanic, but without any of the timers and the TP thresholds to be able to defeat the boss. It will be only mechanic based, and well, the longer it takes you to defeat the boss, it's not a problem because it's going to be with no timers, so you can go and fight until you actually defeat the boss, and not when the timer runs out you have to try again until you meet the criteria. Then we have, they talk about it for a bit, then the people are asking if there are going to be any plans to add multiplayer content, and from what they show us here, we can see that's going to be against the Architect. If you don't know who that is, then it's a bit of a spoiler, but you'll see it in the story eventually. And as you can see, there's two different hunters, one on top and one on bottom, fighting at the same time, and I believe it's going to be only two people fighting. There doesn't seem to be three people, but I could be wrong. And it's going to be a co-op style boss fight where we fight alongside someone else to defeat the Architect. Not sure if that's going to be the Architect only, but we'll see. Then people are complaining about advanced mana crystals, which is a fair complaint. I'm also always running out of advanced mana crystals, and they're saying that they're going to increase the ways to obtain them, which will be in the exchange shop. You can get 200 instead of only 100 per day, which doesn't really solve the issue because you don't really get that many resources to buy the 100, so buying 200 will make almost no difference. Then they're talking about POD feeling boring, and they're going to improve on the POD. They don't really mention anything special from what I could gather, so you have to wait and see when the time comes. The fusion error, if you don't know, the fusion error is when you fuse, there was an error that will not use I believe 30% of the resources to fuse, so you would require less resources to fuse than normally, and they're going to fix it, and pretty much that's what they're going to do. And now something important: getting new artifacts way too difficult. They're talking about the 8 set artifacts. They really hard to obtain. They barely drop, and if you want the 8-piece curse or 8-piece infamy, especially 8-piece infamy, it's useful for team fights, and the 4-piece infamy is useful in some hunters. 2-piece to curse is really good in most hunters, and infamy is really important to obtain, and it's really hard to drop the artifacts, and when they finally drop they have bad stats and you can't really do anything with them. And they say they're going to increase the drop rate of the 8-set artifacts, which is amazing. And they're asking for questions in the comments, and that's pretty much it. Then you have a code, don't forget to redeem your codes. I'll leave it for a couple seconds so you guys can see the code and use it. 300 Essence Mana Crystals is amazing, 1000 Essence Stones is amazing, and 1,000,000 gold. Then for June they're talking about the gem promotion that was added, and they're going to add power of Proof of the Strong to the newest Workshop Brilliant Light Yogg-Munt. So if you defeated the hard mode, you can now go to the Proof of the Strong and try to obtain as much rewards as possible by defeating the last mode. So it's a way to challenge yourself if if you have a good account. You're going to need a ton of TP. I believe it's around 2,500,000 total power for the last level of Proof of the Strong, so you're going to need to be strong enough to fight and be able to defeat the Proof of the Strong. And then we have, they're talking about the new hunter, Leonard, so if you have him already, no problem. Oh, sorry, missed code. Then we have another code for rank 5 gems and the gem fragment selection chest, so you can get a ton of gems for your gem slots, which is important, so don't forget to redeem the code. I don't know if it's still available, they're usually for 1 day only, so you might be expired already, so I hope you have been able to redeem them. And then we have July updates. We have a new expert mode for stories, so it's at 35,000 essence stones for free. You can obtain by defeating the story mode in expert tier. It's going to require a ton of total power, so you're going to have to grind it a bit. If you're still low on total power, you will have to slowly grind it out, which is nice. It's a new way to obtain essence stones and more rewards from completing the challenges and obtaining stars, which is really good and a nice addition to the game. So a ton of essence stones for free, just have to grind a bit, which is always good. And then we have, they're talking about story. They're going to do a balance patch, so light and water, just one water unit will get buffed, which is really good. The light team was the weakest right now, and they needed some push to be relevant, especially because Thomas Andre is a national level hunter and he should feel like one of the strongest hunters in the game, at least until a new Thomas Andre releases. We know eventually there will be another one, and until then Thomas Andre should be the strongest, one of the strongest light hunters, and should be useful in any light week event. So it's nice that they're going to buff him. And as I said, you can now go to 200 in the exchange shop, which is basically a insignificant change. If you can't even get 100, usually you're not going to be able to get 200. A huge change they're going to make. I don't know why the game didn't start like this in the beginning, but they're going to remove the gold for removing artifacts, which means that whenever you change artifacts, you no longer have to pay gold. Before the July update, or currently you can only do that on weekends. On weekends it's free, but now they're going to change it, so any time of the day, any day of the week, you can just go there. If you want, you can change artifacts and you're not going to waste gold like you used to. It's a ton of gold. It doesn't seem like much at the beginning, but it adds up quickly, and it will make a difference in your total gold income, which is scarce as it is, and now it's not going to be one of your gold problems, won't be the artifact change, which is amazing. You have another code. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, don't forget to redeem it. You can pause to see. Now we have the collaboration event. With the collaboration event, we're getting 2 new hunters, Suhai and Mion. I hope I pronounced them correctly. And they're going to be the idol members of the K-pop band, and they're going to be a water hunter and a light hunter. They're going to be free. You just need to summon if you want. I don't really recommend doing that, but if you want, you can summon for them if you're like idol band and you're a really fan of the idol K-pop band and their music. You're going to be able to summon for the ones you like. So far you only have 2. More will be added over time, but you don't really need to summon. You're going to get one of them, each of them for free by logging in, and if you see a bit later, this is the story mode where you're going to be introduced to the idol members. As you can see, the rest of the members are in the story. They'll be added later. We can see what the animations here. They have cool animations, they look really smooth. I like the animations for Mion, they're quite well made. And for Suha, I believe it's how, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, she basically attacks fast, and it's like she uses her hands to like a claw to fight. I think Mion has better animations, but Suha looks like it's going to deal a decent amount of damage, so it's going to be a water DPS. And if you see here, you can see that with the missions, you're going to have a new battle pass that will give you one free copy of each, and then from the missions you'll get another. I think it's from the missions you'll get another copy. So in total, for free, you'll obtain 3 copies of each, which means you can go into a 2 without summoning for them, and if you really like them and if you really want, you can go and summon for the rest. And if you buy the battle pass, as you can see, you can obtain extra copies of them. So you can get rewards from the battle pass, with one of them being the 3rd copy or 4th copy, depending on how you look at it, of the hunters, and it's going to be decently enough, but probably not going to be used for those who don't really care about the collab. If you are one of those that really likes the collab and wants to go obtain them and max them out, well, you just need to summon for 3 copies of them, or 2 copies if you obtain the deluxe version of the pass. And then here we have the events. We're going to have a play challenge. We're going to obtain up to 100 weapon summons, which is really nice. Then free rewards. We have this event already in the summer, and then we have the idols event, which I don't really know what the event entitles. They don't really show what you have to do, so we'll have to wait and see when the event arrives. And yeah, I think it's pretty much it. We have the live version of the hunters, the idol members dressed up as their version, I believe, of the hunters, as pretending to enter a gate, which looks nice. And the last code, don't know if you can obtain it or not, but if you can, don't forget to redeem it, to at least try. And that's pretty much it for the events and for the news regarding the July update. In terms of content, not really that much. You will get a story mode, expert mode, you're getting power of the strong, proof of the strong mode for the workshop of Brilliant Light. You're getting maybe a co-op mode for the architect fight, which is still, they didn't really talk about much about that mode yet. And the collab with the Idol, which will give us a lengthy story with a ton of rewards and 2 new characters for free until A2. And if you really want to use them, as I mentioned, you have to summon the rest of the copies. Something that you have to keep in mind is that they're going to increase the rates of artifacts dropping in the Encore and Instance dungeons, so I would advise you to hold some keys until the day of the release, so you can hold until 40, and whenever you're going to go over 40 you can use some keys, and then always make sure you're below the 40 range but close to it, so when the drops increase you can use them all on the release day. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you like, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!